Hello, everybody. My name is Beija, and I'm going to take you through a balanced, focused Vinyasa class. So it's not a workshop, it's going to be a Vinyasa flow, and we're going to throw in a ton of standing balancing postures. So if you know that balance is not your strong suit, which it is for most of us, even me right now, I'd recommend setting up your mat near a wall or maybe with a chair nearby. If you have blocks handy, go ahead and make them a little bit more available to you. And I'll definitely give you cues and shout out when you might want to use them throughout our flow. But to begin, we'll go ahead and come to Sukhasana. So sit comfortably on your mat. And then again, if you have a block, you can go ahead and set it underneath your seat just to provide a bit more space through the hips. So just sitting comfortably with your ankles underneath the knees, and soften your hands on top of them, palms face down. Maybe shrug your shoulders up and down a few times, and then allow your eyes to come closed. And we'll begin just by focusing on our root. So feeling the connection between your seat and the floor, allowing your hips to feel heavy on the ground, and feeling the support of the earth beneath you. And then start to allow that root to grow deeper down towards the core of the earth. So feeling even more stable. And then see if you can start to lengthen upwards with just as much intensity as you root downward. So as you breathe in, start to feel that length travel up the spine through the top of the head. And then as you exhale, allow the root to grow deeper, like you're being pulled apart in opposite directions. Let's breathe in, lengthen up. Breathe out, root down. We'll do that one more time. Big inhale, find even more length. Maintain that length in the spine as you exhale and root down. Next inhale, go ahead and blink your eyes open and sweep your arms up overhead. So just reaching your fingertips straight up towards the sky. Notice if your knees begin to lift. See if you can release them back down. And then take one more sip of air in. On your exhale, we'll find a side bend. Release your right arm to your side. Draw the shoulder blade down and back, and then inhale, reach the left fingertips further up. Exhale, side bend to your right. So as you bend to your right, notice that the left shoulder rolls forward. Try to keep it in line with the right, so draw it down and back. Maybe lift your gaze past the left arm, and then keep the left hip rooted. Breathe in. And then on your breath out, I want you to start to circle the left fingertips all the way towards the floor in front of you. And then reach your right fingertips forward as well. Breathe in, pull the chest through so you're sliding your tailbone back. And then breathe out, walk your fingertips further forward, sink down towards the floor. Breathe in, spread the shoulder blades apart, engage your lats. And then breathe out, go deeper in your fold. So resting your belly down towards your shins. Next inhale, start to walk your hands back in towards your body and then sweep them back up overhead. Exhale, release your left arm to your side. So we'll take the side bend on the other. Breathe in, reach your right fingertips high. Breathe out, start to bend to your left. So again, keeping the shoulders level. Draw the right shoulder blade down and back. Keep the right hip rooted. As you inhale, really lengthen through the right arm. Maybe look past, breathe in. On your breath out, begin to circle the right arm forward, followed by the left. Inhale, pull the chest through, and then exhale, walk your fingertips further forward. So find a little bit more space this time around. Notice if your tailbone begins to tilt up, see if you can rotate it back down towards the floor. So still focusing on your root. Inhale. Stay for your exhale. And then next inhale, walk your hands back in. Sweep them up overhead, find more length through the sides of the body, and then on your exhale, you can release your hands down, and then we'll make our way to tabletop. So any way it's comfortable for you. Maybe rolling over the shins, bringing the shoulders over the wrists, fanning the fingers nice and wide. Press the tops of the feet into the floor, and then we'll warm up the spine with some cat-cow. So breathe in, drop your belly down. Begin to tilt your tailbone high and lift your gaze. Energetically pull your hands back towards your knees. And then exhale, press through fingertips. Begin to round into your cat, tucking chin to chest. Feel the shoulder blades spread apart. Now breathe in into your cow, drop the belly, tilt the tailbone high, lift the gaze up. Maybe start to press your tongue to the roof of the mouth, find more length through the throat, and then exhale, press the floor away, contract, pull the navel in and up. Continue to flow back and forth at your own pace for about 3 rounds, matching your breath with your movement, so you're finding a little bit more synchronicity in your flow. Aiming to find that unity throughout our practice that'll help us with our balance, focusing on our breath. And so often we forget about our breath when we're challenged, whether it's in a yoga asana or everyday life. So really focusing on the breath in this final round before meeting at a neutral spine. So finding your foundation once again on the hands and on the knees. So we're going to get to engage our core, which is super important for balance and stability. So begin to pull that navel in towards the spine and then upwards. Press the left foot deep into the floor. Next inhale, extend the right leg straight behind you. Bring it parallel to the ground and flex the foot so the toes point straight down. Make sure the hips are level, and then inhale, extend your left arm forward. So feel the pull in opposite directions. So left fingertips are lengthening forward, right heel is pushing back, breathe in. On your breath out, draw the left knee to touch draw the left elbow to touch the right knee beneath the body. Begin to dome the upper spine, and then inhale, extend. We'll do that twice more. Exhale, contract, knee to elbow round the spine. Inhale, extend. Exhale, contract. Inhale, extend, hold, and then bend the right knee, grab hold of the foot behind you. So now working a bit on our balance, continue to press the left foot down to the floor, and then keep your eyes fixed on a point on the ground to help you. This will be your drishti, your focal point. So really important for balance and stability is that you have a focal point, not just with your gaze, but also with your intention and your breath. Take one more inhale. Exhale, release. Back to your tabletop. We'll take 2 rounds of cat-cow just to even it out. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale to your cat, round the spine. Inhale to cow, and exhale to cat. Inhale to your neutral spine. So again, finding your foundation. Think about the outline of your hands on the floor. Think about pressing the top of the right foot into the ground, and then inhale, extend the left leg back. Level out through hips, engage through the quad, and outstretch your right arm forward as you breathe in. Feel the pull in opposite directions. Stay centered. Keep your eyes fixed on your drishti. On your exhale, draw the elbow and knee to touch beneath the navel, round the spine, push the floor away. Inhale, extend. Exhale, contract. Pull that navel in and up. Keep the core engaged. Last round. Inhale, extend. Exhale, contract. Inhale, extend, hold here, bend the left knee, grab hold of the foot. You can draw the heel into the glute to stretch the quad or kick the foot away. And keep your eyes on your drishti, keep your breath balanced. Breathe in, breathe out. Focus on the points of contact with the floor for stability. Inhale. And exhale, release back to your tabletop. 2 rounds of cat-cow. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale to your cat. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. And then keep the spine dome, tuck the toes under. We'll press back to downward facing dog. So we already have that core engagement. Maintain it in this shape. And now think about stretching the back side of the body, particularly through the legs. So pedaling the feet, bending the knees right, left, doing what you need just to create that space. And we'll take 2 more breaths, just any movement that feels natural. Keeping the gaze back on the knees, on the toes, keeping the navel pulled in and up. Then begin to sink your heels down towards the floor. And it's okay if they don't touch. Maybe place a bend through the knees if that's a little bit more comfortable. On your next inhale, go ahead and bend both knees. Look to the top of your mat. You're going to keep your hands and feet where they're at. Push forward to your high plank position. So stacking your shoulders over your wrists, you might need to shimmy your feet back. Tuck the pelvis under, pull the navel in and up. Inhale, seesaw the shoulders past the wrists. Perhaps lower to knees to modify. On your exhale, you'll lower all the way to your belly. So hands are underneath the elbows. I'm pinching the elbows close to one another and then sliding my shoulder blades down my back. Press the tops of the feet to the floor. Inhale to your low cobra. So little to no weight is in the hands. Maybe allow them to hover above the floor. And just focus on opening up through the chest and using the strength of the low back to rise. Puff up with one more inhale. Exhale, release to the floor. We're going to repeat that twice more, progressively adding more weight to the hands to find more lift through the spine. All right, next inhale, tops of the feet press to the floor, rise up to low cobra. So now just a little bit more energy in the hands. See if you can grip through the fingertips to protect the wrists. Puff up with a little bit more inhale. Exhale, release back down. Last round, finding even more height and more lift. Breathe in, lift up. See if you can encourage the shoulders to migrate away from the ears. Keep the tops of the feet on the floor. And then exhale, melt back to the ground. Tuck the toes under. Use your tricep strength to press up to hands and knees. Exhale to downward facing dog. Lifting the hips up and back. Reaching your tailbone towards the sky while your heels reach down to the floor. So again, feel that pull in opposite directions to create lift and length. Take a breath in. Breath out. Next inhale, bend the knees, look forward. And this time we're gonna walk to the top of our mat for ragdoll pose. So stepping the feet behind the wrists, bending the knees as much as you'd like to decompress through the spine, then feel free to scoop up your elbows. You can sway side to side. Maybe just let your arms hang heavy. Completely relax through the head and neck. We'll take 3 breaths here. So again, focus on your foundation. So rooting down to the bottoms of the feet, gripping through the toes, pushing the heels into the mat, simultaneously lifting up through the tailbone. So always finding your root for stability and then growing off of that, finding more lift. Breathe in, breathe out. One more inhale. And on your exhale, release your hands to the floor. Micro bend through the knees. Inhale, slowly round up to standing. Take your time as you come up, 1 inch at a time. And then once your shoulders stack over your hips, go ahead and roll them down and back once more. Palms face forward for Tadasana. So maybe close your eyes here, challenge your balance, or just allow your eyelids to feel a bit heavier. Room begins to grow dimmer. And keep your eyes on a fixed point of the floor in front of you. Begin to tune into your foundation, gripping through toes, pushing through heels, and then see if you can lift the inner arches of the feet, kind of like you're suction cupping your feet to the floor. And this is going to be so important for all of our standing balances. Let's take a breath in. Allow your inhale to travel past the chest and towards the belly. Fill up. Open your mouth and exhale, release. Nice deep breath in. Open your mouth, breathe out. One more inhale like this. And exhale. Next breath in, sweep your arms up overhead. Find lift and length through the sides of the body. Exhale, palms press to heart center. Close your eyes and connect with your intention. So maybe it's just finding a little bit more balance in your life, knowing that balance looks different for everyone. And it's a spectrum, and just finding the place that feels most comfortable for you, that fulcrum. We'll take a breath in together. Open your mouth, breathe out. Next inhale, sweep your arms back up overhead. Next exhale, we'll find our chair pose. So go ahead and begin to bend through the knees. Lower the hips down, about level with the knees. Tuck the pelvis under, pull the navel in and up. Maybe widen the hands a bit for stability. Breathe in. Breathe out, sink 1 more inch. Next inhale, press through the feet, come back up to standing. Take your left knee with you so you're bouncing on your right foot. Continue to breathe. Keep your eyes on that fixed point. Inhale. Exhale to warrior 3. So feel free to keep your arms framing the head as you start to hinge from the hips and extend the left leg behind you. For more stability, fingertips can find the floor or the wall by your side. Breathe in here, feel the heel push back, crown of the head pull forward, and on your breath out with control, lower the left toes to the ground for high lunge. Find a deep lunge through the right leg, knee stacked over ankle. Inhale, reach the arms up. Shoulders over hips, breathe in. On your breath out, begin to twist to your right, reach your right arm behind you, left fingertips forward. Continue to keep that core stability. Stay centered. Inhale. On your exhale, release the left hand underneath the shoulder for your runner's lunge. Reach the right arm up, maybe lift your gaze. And then listen here on your exhale. Go ahead and release your right hand to the inside of the foot for lizard lunge. Soften the left knee down. You can toe heel your leg to the side a bit more if you need. Try not to let the knee drift past the toes, and we're going to stay here for 2 breaths. So encourage the hips to melt towards the floor. Encourage the chest to pull forward. Breathe in. Breathe out. 1 more inhale. And exhale. Next inhale. Left toes tuck under. Lift the knee. We're going to transition to our side plank. So reaching the right arm up, rotate to the outer edges of the feet, and then step the right foot either to stack on top of the left, or you can stagger. If you're feeling pretty strong, maybe find your star and lift the right leg. Inhale, balance here, core stability. Exhale, release the right foot down if you took that variation. Right hand finds the ground. Chaturanga Dandasana. So feel free to lower to the knees, lower halfway. Inhale to your back bend of choice, lift the heart. Exhale to downward facing dog, lift the hips up and back. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale and exhale. 1 more time, breathe in and out. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Go ahead and walk or step to the top of your mat for a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold, hinge. Inhale to standing, sweep your arms up high. On your exhale, lower down to your chair. So finding that invisible seat, pelvis is tucked under, core is engaged, hooking navel in and up, weight is in heels. Breathe in. Breathe out, sink 1 more inch. Inhale, press through the legs. Come up to standing, bring your right knee with you this time. Find your balance. So find your root through the left foot, drishti with your gaze, breathe in. On your breath out, we'll teeter-totter to our warrior 3. Again, hands can find the floor for support, maybe the wall beside you. Otherwise, continue to extend your fingertips in front. Breathe in. Breathe out, gently lower the right toes down. Find your high lunge, shoulders over hips. Inhale. Exhale, twist to your left, reaching the fingertips in opposite directions. Find your center through your core. Inhale. Exhale, release the right hand to the floor beneath the shoulder, runner's lunge. So adjust your stance, maybe wiggle the toes back, reach the left arm high. One more breath in. On your breath out, we'll find lizard. Release the left hand to the inside of the foot. Maybe adjust the foot if you'd like to find an angle. Soften the right knee down. Make sure again that the knee's not drifting past the toes if you have a history of knee injuries. 2 breaths here. Melting your hips to the floor, relaxing the shoulders away from ears. One more breath in and out. Next, inhale, lift that back knee. And go ahead and fan the right fingertips apart. We're gonna find our side plank. So reaching the left arm up, roll to the outer edges of the feet. And then again, you can either stack or stagger. If you're feeling pretty strong, maybe find your star. Breathe in. On your breath out, release the foot, release the hand, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale to down dog. 2 breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Breath in and out. Coming back to your intention. Finding your root. Now we'll move on with our sequence. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. You can walk, step, or hop to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to standing, Tadasana. Reach your arms high. And from here, we're gonna get ready for dancer. So go ahead and release your left arm to your side like you're holding onto a serving tray. Find your root through the right foot. So you're gripping through the toes, pushing through the heel. Allow that energy to travel up the quad and engage. Release your left arm down. Go ahead and bend through the knee and grab hold of the inner edge of the ankle. Really reach your right fingertips forward. Draw the left shoulder blade down and back. Inhale, find your focal point on the floor in front of you. And then exhale, begin to kick. So you're kicking the left foot back. And then as you kick, the body will naturally hinge. So it's not the hinge that you're forcing, it's the kick. And again, this shape looks different for everyone. It's all about the experience of this shape and you working towards balance. So continue to breathe. Find adjustments that feel right, whether that's holding onto the wall, maybe a chair in front of you. Take one more inhale, continue to kick, open up your chest. And then on your exhale, with control, go ahead and release the foot and then step the left foot behind you. Sink the heel down, inhale to warrior one, reach the arms up. Exhale, straighten the front leg. So feel a little bit of relaxation through that right quad, working so hard for you. Go ahead and orient the hips forward. We'll breathe in, lengthen. Exhale to pyramid pose. So hinge from the hips, lengthen forward and downward. So if you have those blocks, they'll come in pretty handy in this shape, just to create more space between you and the floor. Otherwise, you can go ahead and release your hands where it's comfortable, where that's in line with the right foot or maybe further back. Just stretching through the hamstrings, wrapping that hip behind you. We'll take one more breath here. And we'll begin to find our next shape, which will be our revolved triangle. So again, if you have that block, it'll be handy on that left, underneath the left hand. Otherwise, you can tent the fingertips on the floor. Inhale, sweep the right arm up. So now arms are at 6 and 12. Challenge your balance, lift your gaze towards the right thumb. Big breath in. Continue to wrap the right hip back behind you. And then on your breath out, release the right hand down. Grip through the toes, lunge to the front knee. Once again, we'll find warrior one on our inhale. Reach the arms up. And then keep the lunge in that front leg. On your exhale, we'll find an eagle wrap. So go ahead and bring the left arm to sweep underneath the right. Whether you have that double wrap, the bear hug, or you're pressing the backs of the hands together, press the elbows, draw the elbows downward. Breath in, find your drishti in front of you. I'm going to transition to Garudasana Eagle pose from here. So gripping through right big toes, launch off of the left leg. We're going to wrap the left leg up and around the right thigh. You can create a kickstand with the toes, or you can double wrap, bringing the foot behind the calf. Stack the knees and elbows in one line and then make it to sit low. So you want to be the shortest person in the room from the waist down, tallest from the waist up. Breathe in. Breathe out, stay here. Tourniquet effect, so constricting blood flow as you squeeze the elbows and knees together. One more inhale. Exhale, unravel through legs and arms. Sweep your arms up. Find your tall mountain. Breath in. Breath out, hinge and fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale to your fold. Next breath in, tall mountain, come all the way up to standing. So now we're gonna find our root through the left foot, moving on to the other side. So grip your toes, push through the heel, contract through the quad. Keep your pelvis tucked under and neutral, navel pulls in and up. Release your right arm to your side like you're holding onto a serving tray. And then bend the knee, grab hold of the inner ankle. Draw the knees together. Find your focal point on the floor in front of you. Breathe in, lengthen up. On your breath out, begin to kick back. So again, it's the kick that drives the hinge rather than the hinge forcing the shape that you think you're supposed to make. So focus on that kick, feel that stretch through the quad, and then naturally begin to hinge. Continue to grip through the left big toe, push through the heel, squeeze the quad. Breathe in, breathe out. If you lose your balance, no big deal. You can get right back into it. Yoga is very forgiving that way. So that's just life. Come back into it for one more breath. So it's not just the shape that it's important, but the transition. So with as much control as you've been holding the shape and you came into it, release and step the right foot back behind you. Sink the heel to the floor for warrior one. Orient the hips forward. Breathe out, straighten the front leg, release the quad, feel that blood flow. Inhale. Exhale to pyramid pose, so hinging, extending forward and releasing downward. Hands where it's comfortable for you on the floor, under the shoulders, on top of blocks, whatever you'd like. We'll take 2 breaths here. Wrap the hip back, stretch through hamstring. Inhale and exhale. One more breath in and out. Begin to lunge that front leg. We'll find our warrior one. As you inhale, rise up. Contract through that back leg. Really engage here. And then we'll begin to wrap the right arm underneath the left. So find your eagle wrap. Squeeze the elbows together. Find the focal point on the floor in front of you. Suction cup the left foot to the floor. Inhale to standing. Woo. And then on your exhale, go ahead and wrap the right leg over the left. Kickstand through the toes or double wrap. Bring the elbows and knees in one line and begin to sink low into the hips. Really pressing knees and elbows together, constrict that blood flow, breathe in. Stay here for your breath out. We want to have one breath, just holding the shape, and then release and unwind. Let that blood flow, maybe bend through the knees, reach the arms up. A little bit different on this next transition, lift up to tippy toes. So keeping your eyes on that fixed point, keep your heels elevated. See if you can zip the knees together as you slowly lower down to a seat atop the heels. So you might hear a little snapple, crack, pop. That's okay, just push the air out of the joints. And then see if you can bring your hands to heart center. Finding a little toe stand here. Maybe releasing your fingertips to the floor for extra stability. One inhale. On your exhale, release your hands to the floor. Push your hips up high, sink your heels low, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, high to low plank. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale to downward facing dog. Big inhale and exhale. We're going to take 2 more breaths before moving on to our final standing sequence. So just noticing a little bit more equanimity through the body as we focus on balance. But a lot of our balancing postures are just on one leg, right? So unilateral movements will create bilateral balance. Take 1 more inhale and exhale. Next breath in, bend the knees, look forward. Walk, step, or hop to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale to your forward fold. And then inhale to standing tall mountain, sweep your arms overhead. Our next balancing shape will be tree. So you can begin by releasing your hands down. Suction cup the right foot to the floor. Find your focal point on the ground in front of you. Coming back to your drishti and your intention. Continue to breathe easy. Go ahead and grab onto the left ankle with the left hand, and you can bring the sole of the foot to the right inner thigh. If that's not comfortable, bring it to the shin or the ankle. Just avoid putting any pressure against the knee. Because what's going to happen in this shape is we want to find a bit more balance by pressing the sole of the foot, whether it's on the inside of the right thigh or shin. With equal intensity, press the right leg against the left foot. So you feel them being pushed in opposite directions. Keep the hip nice and open. And then you can bring your hands to heart center or grow your branches and sweep your hands overhead. If you want a real challenge, close your eyes. Or again, let the room grow dim, eyelids heavy. And see if you can close your eyes while still breathing easy. One more inhale. And exhale. All right, our transition from here will be back to our warrior two, or rather, to our half moon. So coming straight to another balancing shape. So this will be a big challenge for your right leg. Stay strong, it's all temporary. So go ahead and kick the left leg behind you, and then release the right fingertips to the floor or to your block. Left hand atop the hip. Begin to stack the left hip atop the right. So you're rolling the hips open to your left side. If you're near a wall, it might be helpful for you to come against the wall. So you're resting the right shoulder against the wall as you stack the hips and you feel your left heel, hip, all on the wall along with the arms. That's how I learned how to do half moon, and it took me a long time to move off of the wall, but that was really helpful for me just to feel the correct alignment. So taking that shape if you'd like for 2 breaths. If you're feeling pretty balanced, maybe release the right fingertips from the floor of your block and bring your hand to heart center. One more breath in. On your breath out, we'll gently release the left foot behind you for warrior 2 now. So shoulders over hips, arms in opposite directions. Really sink that left heel to the ground and push to the outer edge of the foot. So even though we're not necessarily balancing in this shape, we're going to balance the distribution of weight between our feet. Otherwise, the right leg will get really fatigued. Notice that because we're going to hold this for a little bit. Go ahead and flip the right palm. Inhale, reverse warrior. Maintain the lunge, just stretching through the right side body. On your breath out, we'll find side angle. So you can rest the forearm on the knee, reach the hand to the floor. So our final standing balancing shape will be our bird of paradise. So it's totally optional. If you'd like to take it, you can start to find that bind. Focus on a stationary point in front of you. Step the left leg forward. If you're not taking it, I can encourage you to hold your side angle just to build strength. And again, focus on distributing the weight evenly through both feet. If you're taking that bird of paradise, as I am, make sure you're suction cupping your left foot to the floor. And start to keep your eyes on that point as you lift the right leg, and then see if you can straighten it. So you're finding balance even though you're wobbling. Real balance isn't stiff, straight, static energy. It's dynamic, fluid energy. So stay dynamic. Breathe here. And when you're ready, breathe out, gently release. So whether you're in bird of paradise or your side angle, go ahead and step the left foot forward to meet the right. We'll find a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, tall mountain. Sweep your arms up overhead. And we'll move straight on to the other side. So our right leg is tired. That's good. We're going to give it a break and move on to the left. So grip down through the left big toe, heel, and pinky toe. Section cut that foot. Engage the quad. Go ahead and bring the right foot where it's comfortable for you. It might be different on this side than the other, whether that's, again, the inner thigh, the calf, or kickstand against the ankle. Encourage the knee to open out to the side, to open up through hips. Take a breath in, placing your hands at heart center, reminder of your intention, or sweeping your arms overhead. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let the room grow dim. 2 more breaths. Maybe find a little sway in the breeze of your breath. One more. All right, our transition from here is directly to our half moon. So again, it's a difficult shape. See if you can do it without letting your right finger or right toes graze the floor. So kicking the leg behind you, tenting the left fingertips on the floor on your block, stacking the right hip over the left. See if you can lock the left knee, not by pushing the knee back, but lifting the kneecap upwards. Arms at 6 and 12. Now maybe your real challenge is to lift your gaze up towards the right thumb or to lift up off of the left hand, bringing it to heart center. Breathe in, breathe out. Flex that right foot, inhale. Exhale with control, really gingerly step it behind you for warrior two. So again, the transition's just as important as the shape, all a part of our yoga practice. Hips open to your right side of your room. Flip the left palm, inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale to side angle. Resting form on the knee. Staying here, building strength, working on finding that balance between the weight distribution of both feet, or find the bind. Bring your gaze forward. We'll transition to our bird of paradise. Step the right leg forward. Now suction cup the right foot to the floor. Push up off of the heel. Begin to lift up. Find your balance. Engage the right glute. That helps you with your stability as you start to kick the left leg high. Breathe in. On your breath out, slowly transition out. Whether you're in side angle or your bird of paradise, go ahead and step the right foot forward to meet the left for forward fold. Releasing the bind if you need to. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead, tall mountain. Lift up to your tippy toes, elevate through heels. And again, squeeze the knees and thighs together. See if you can lower to your toe stand with control. So resting on your heels, maybe hands in prayer, maybe hands on the floor on blocks. Breathe in. On your breath out, release your hands to the floor. Sink your heels down, lift the hips up. So we have another balancing shape if you'd like to take crow. It'll be our only arm balance today. You don't have to take it, but I will cue it for you if you'd like. Otherwise, you can hold your forward fold or down dog shape. All right, if you're choosing to take Bakasana, go ahead and plant your hands about shoulder width distance apart, fingers spread really wide, so you have a nice wide base. Grip through your fingertips. Go ahead and bend your elbows straight back to create shelves for your knees. Begin to engage your core, pull the navel in and up, and then really important, this is the biggest thing, is that you send your gaze forward about a foot or two in front of you. All right, maybe lift one leg off of the floor, maybe the other. Maybe you just stay here. You're gonna get all the benefits of the inversion. Otherwise, if you're ready, begin to take flight, lifting off of both feet, drawing the heels towards the glute. And again, keep your hips or your gaze forward, hips high, and breath easy and controlled. So that's the hardest part. Sometimes, again, we hold our breath. We tense up when we're holding these more difficult shapes. Challenge yourself. Breathe easy. You can hold this a bit longer if you'd like. Take some variations. Otherwise, when you're ready to release, drop your feet down. If you're holding that forward fold, you can separate the legs a little bit wider. We'll all meet in a Malasana squat. So heels on the mat, toes will spin off to 10 and 2. Bring your elbows to the inside of the knees, hands at heart center. Take a breath in, lift and lengthen. Breath out. Take one more inhale, feel the hips open. And then on your exhale, see if you can lower to your seat without the support of your hands. Otherwise, you can bring your hands behind you, coming to a seat, and we're going to transition to Navasana boat pose, which is a balance in all in itself. So you can bring your shins parallel to the floor or straighten the legs. Extend the fingertips towards the toes, flip the palms face up. Breathe in, breathe out. One more inhale. And then on your exhale, hug the knees into the chest, rock all the way onto your back. Maybe back and forth just to feel that massage. The muscles running alongside the spine. Take one more breath in, and then breathe out. Soften the back of the head to the floor. We'll find happy baby from here. Grab to the outer edges of the feet. Stack the heels over the knees. And then find again that sway, this time side to side. Feel the tailbone melt into the floor. If it doesn't, you can reach for ankles or calves. Feel the shoulder blades on the mat, shoulders away from the ears. Corners of the lips begin to curve up and smile. Breathe in. And then on your breath out, go ahead and release. Hug the knees back into the chest. And then we'll bring the arms up to a T. Pressing the backs of the hands to the floor, keeping the knees bent. We'll inhale, feel the chest pull up. And then on your exhale, drop your knees to your left, stacking right over left, gaze to your right. So you can remain here. This is nice and comfortable. A little bit less intense of a side twist. Otherwise, if you'd like, you can reach for the left foot with the right hand to get a quad stretch. So pulling the left heel in towards the glute as you keep your gaze to your right. Breathe in. Maybe rest the left hand atop the right knee, even more intense of a twist. We'll take one more breath here. Next, inhale, unwind. Bring your arms back out to a T and engage your core to bring your knees back to center. Exhale, drop the knees to your right, gaze to your left. Stay here, pretty easy twist. You've worked really hard for the past 42 minutes, so if you'd like to just relax passively, feel free. Otherwise, more intense stretch. Left hand will grab onto the right foot and draw the heel to the glute. Right hand will rest atop the left knee. Keep both shoulder blades plastered to the floor. And take 3 deep breaths. Just rinsing out the spine, massaging the abdominal organs, preparing the body for a restful Shavasana. Go ahead and release your feet. Next inhale, go ahead, come back to center. Hug the knees into the chest. Take a moment of gratitude for your body for all it's done in the past 45 minutes, allowing you to practice and connect, to work on your balance and find what it means for you. Take a big inhale. On your exhale, release and melt into your final Shavasana, just reaching your legs forward, allowing the toes to drape open to your sides, walking the shoulder blades together beneath the back to feel the breadth of the stretch of the chest, arms down by your sides, palms face up to receive. And just taking a moment to scan from the top of the head all the way down to the toes and really allow your body to completely disengage and relax. Eyes closed, no drishti, no focal point. Letting go of the intensity of your breath. And then just allowing everything to sink and soak in. Softening behind the eyes, softening the jaw. Just noticing the natural rise and fall of the chest and belly with your breath. Relaxing the glutes, toes, fingertips, and just melting deep into the floor. Again, feeling the connection between the backside of the body and the support of the earth beneath you. And taking this time to allow those notions of what should be in Shavasana to just drift away and just allow what comes. Give yourself the time to remain in Shavasana as long as you need. I'd like to thank you all so much for carving the time in your day to show up on your mats for yourself, to find balance and harmony in the body, in the practice. Allow that to translate to your everyday life. Know that that balance is a spectrum that looks different for everyone, and it takes a little trial and error to find where you reside on that spectrum. And doing that for yourself. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, an extension of your own. Namaste.